Soul family, welcome back to the Follow Your Path channel. For the pioneers, for the trailblazers, for those who are here to walk their unique path, to discover the depths of who they are, and who are interested in self-actualization. I'm here to tell you today that if you've been feeling frustrated, if you've been feeling like things just haven't clicked in your life, if you feel like you've been in that place of struggle for a long time, if you feel like I don't even really want to play this game. I don't like what's going on here. This isn't fun for me. I'm not enjoying this. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you are going to have a completely different view, because what I'm going to bring in today is beautiful levels of truth, because we are in a new game. We are in a new paradigm. We got new rules, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You've just been playing the wrong game, and we all have, right? To different levels. I know for me that it was a big time struggle for most of my adult life, for most of my life in general. A part of me felt like I didn't fit in here. It felt like I couldn't get it right, and I'm watching other people around me seemingly get it right. And what I've learned is that a lot of those people, they were okay with buying into the program. They were okay with playing by the old rules. But those who would be on a channel like this, those who are here to pave the new path, we were never meant to play that game. And that's why it never worked, right? I remember at my job when I was there for a couple of years, and I started to see all these people getting promoted ahead of me. And I knew that I was performing better. I knew that I was worthy of that promotion more than some of the people that had been leapfrogging ahead of me. And I took it so personally. I was like, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening? Like, life is unfair. And I didn't realize, again, I was in the wrong game. I was on the wrong path. And that was the orchestration of my soul to show me, like, hey, buddy, see how this isn't working? It's because it's not for you. That's all that we're doing. You don't have to take it personally. But read the cues, all right? It's because I was living in the third dimensional game board, and I'm not here to play a 3D game, and neither are you. Have you noticed that if you're making choices lately that aren't in alignment, it feels extra terrible, doesn't it? Are you noticing that time is going faster than you've ever seen? Are you noticing that if you're trying to do the same things over and over again, and you're just maybe wearing a different outfit, hoping that something will shift, that feels terrible too? Anything that you are resisting in this new game is going to feel brutal, and it's going to drag you through the mud. And it's done with so much love. Even though it doesn't feel like it, it's done with so much love, because as souls, we need the contrast to learn. We need the perspective of duality to learn what works and what doesn't work. So for a lot of us here, we've gone way down the track of realizing what does not work, and that is playing the three-dimensional game, right? So now we're coming back this way. We're coming back towards truth, and we're going to start to do things that we've always known, but we had the veil pulled over our eyes, and that's all part of the game. And remember, you got to stay goofy, okay? You got to be a goofy guy or a gal, because seriousness, that's three-dimensional shit right there, right? The soul knows it's playing a game. Yes, the emotions can feel really intense. Yes, the stories in our mind can create a lot of chaos and suffering. But this is a time of rising up into the higher room, like the elevator in your floors of consciousness, so that you can see things as they are, and you can have a good laugh at how much of a silly goose that you've been, that we've all been, right? Look at the outer world. It's insane. There's so many insane parts of it and pieces of it that don't make sense, and that's all falling apart. And it's like, yay, now we all get to build and create a world from the fifth dimensional perspective. All right, so have a good laugh over there. You gotta not take it so seriously. be a goofy guy, right? Do a silly dance, wear some goofy pants, make a silly face. Oh no, people aren't going to take you serious in your videos if you do this. Good. Or maybe they take you more serious. Maybe they realize that this is your authenticity, right? Do you want to be a serious person in the world that's like, I got to do the work and I got to put in all the effort and it's shadow work is a very serious thing? No, you can laugh at your shadows. You can look at your deepest wounds, the things that have messed you up the most. You can look right at them and you can laugh from the soul perspective when you rise out of the ego persona, right? Because from that place, it really hurts. And it's like, why would I ever laugh at that? There's no sense of humor there because you're in survival. When you're in the soul, you're a creator and you can see the insane patterns that you've been sucked into. And it's not your fault. Again, it's just part of the game. So here we go. All right, so if we really want to thrive, we've got to have context. We've got to know the rules of the old game that we were playing and why it wasn't working and what the new rules are. All right, this is, as I've said in other videos, this is one of the most exciting times we've ever had on planet Earth. And I know this just as well as anyone. It is so easy to get pulled down into the sludge of the old game, into the old perspectives, going from the top floor of your awareness back down into the basement where you're in survival. And so everything is, you're in a tiny box and you can't see things as they are, right? There has never been a time that's been greater for us to be creators, for us to have things at our fingertips. And we're calibrating, we're getting used to it. We got all this information. It's easy for the brain to get overwhelmed, but that's why the intuition is coming online. And that is part of the new game board. So let's just go through this real quick, okay? These were the 3D rules, all right? Misalignment. You were in someone else's story. And that's never gonna feel correct to your soul, right? But that was part of what we had to play in to get the contrast to realize like, oh, I wanna know what my story is. I'm interested to know what God created me to be, what I was created as, the song that's inside of me. I wonder what it would be like to sing that instead of being in someone else's story because you're afraid to be in your own, okay? That's misalignment. That's making choices that are not authentic. That's mental and emotional slavery. That is the abandonment of the self, okay? We are coming out of the era of misalignment, which is just because we didn't know better, right? Next, emotional signature that we're walking around. It's like we got a backpack on of I'm not okay, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not as smart as them. Those things that we took on as children, those limiting beliefs, the I'm not enoughness in all the different places, and we've been walking around emotionally with that. And we don't realize that that's been affecting every decision that we make. And that keeps us from walking on our path, right? Because if you're in a place of I'm not okay, where are you at? You're in survival, right? I'm not okay means I need to survive. I need to figure this out. I need to protect myself, right? Your heart is shut down and your creativity isn't there. And you're just finding ways to either avoid pain or seek temporary pleasure. And that's the old game, okay? Also, in the old game, the attention, and that kind of goes to this last point here, your attention's pretty much always on what you don't want, right? It's what you don't want, what you want to avoid. And if someone was to ask you the question, hey, what do you want? What would your life look like if you could choose it to be anything and you had everything available to you? And most people will look at you and be like, money, right? They don't have anything because their mind is unconsciously patterned to stay fixated on the things that they don't like and what they don't want. And then you don't realize it because you're such a powerful creator. You just keep creating more of what you don't want because that's where your life force is flowing. That's what your brain's fixated on. And that's the only thing that reality can mirror back to you, that life can give back to you, because you're blessing yourself with the things that you don't want by virtue of keeping your attention on them, because that's how you create in this experience, through your attention. And we've talked about that, so let's keep going. Linear time. This one took me a while to like fully grasp, okay? Linear time. In the third dimensional game board, it's like, okay, I'm a physical being. I have to go out and make things happen. I have to slog through the density of the physical world, and it's matter to matter, and I got to take these linear steps in order to get this thing. In the new game that's unfolding, where you realize the creator that you are, you're the cause, and life moves towards you because you're creating now in your own consciousness. You're becoming that which you decide to be. Anything that you want to manifest or see materialized, you've already got it, and you're putting yourself into alignment with it. The you that already has the thing is now coming into alignment with you, and that collapses all time and space. It's no longer this like, I got to take years to go like do this thing and make it all work. You put yourself in a trap of time unknowingly when you do that. And now you can, in a relaxed state, in a place of coherence, align yourself to be the you that already has the thing, that already has the confidence, that already is with the desired partner, and it's unwavering, right? There's no wobble. You are that. And this is what puts you in alignment. And this is what gets the intuition involved. So then when you're in your normal day-to-day, because you don't have to sit there and think about this all the time, it's just a little bit of practice every now and then of the embodiment piece. Your intuition and your RAS in your mind will start to scan the environment, and you'll get ideas, and you'll be making your decisions from a place of the person who's already got the thing, which then puts you in more alignment with it, and then you start to see it materialize in the physical realm. That is part of the new game. So we want to step out of linear time. Like, when's it going to happen? How is it going to happen? All the who, what, where, when, and hows, like those got to go, because then you're going to be playing by this. And if you're playing by this, it's going to really suck. It's not going to work. Even if you see it working for other people, it's not for you. That's why it's never worked. All right. Or maybe it did temporarily and then it all fell apart, right? There's a reason that happened. Okay. Fixing, effort, struggle, all three-dimensional game board things, right? I'm broken. I need to fix something. My life doesn't look the way that I want it to look, so I've got to fix it. Now you're in problem consciousness, and now your attention is on the problem. Something is broken, and you're on the hamster wheel trying to fix it, instead of shifting effortlessly into, there's nothing broken. And this is just a matter of, what would you like to create today? How would you like this thing to go today? What do you want to come into alignment with today? There's nothing broken. All of creation is here. All the blessings have been poured out. The kingdom of heaven is sitting right inside of you, saying, how do you want to play this today? What would you like to do? Right? And instead of getting to bask in the joy of that question, of really like tuning in with your desires and being like, oh, what is it that I would like to do? That would be a cool way to get to know myself, by living these desires and recognizing I've always been worthy to have them, and life put them in me so that I could experience them, instead of fixating on all this stuff, which is what our conditioned mind does. All right, we're leaving this behind, folks. All right. If you've been playing the game like this, it's not going to work, right? And that's beautiful, because now you're starting to learn. You're waking up, and we got the new game to play. All right, so let's go over here. This is the 5D game board. Okay, these are the things that are going to feel in alignment to your soul. These are going to feel good. It's going to feel effortless. Your body, okay, in this place, no tension, because you know who you are. You're relaxed. Everything comes to you. Everything is lighthearted. There's not like that density going on anymore, right? So you're the cause. You're no longer the effect of, you're not in the world anymore, or you're not sucked into the density of the illusion, right? You're not caught in the Maya. You have risen above it, and you're in the world, but not of it. You realize that you're an eternal spirit, and you're here to play this human game, all right? And you are the cause. The way that you feel, the way that you think about things, the way you feel about yourself and life, that's your electromagnetic field of information. That's broadcasting all the time and drawing things to you, drawing experiences that are just a mirror to your informational field, which is what we're reconstructing now in this new game board through intentional creation, okay? This is all about well-beingness. This is about ease. This is about joy. This is about relaxation. Now, for many of us, our nervous systems have been shot with, especially now with all of these electromagnetic frequencies and from technology and the conditioning and the disorder and the chaos and the stress, our nervous systems have been absolutely fried. So as part of this new game, you prioritize your own well-beingness. You prioritize putting your attention on places that are in alignment, that give you a sense of expansion, and you feel good, and you feel whole, you feel complete. Again, there's nothing wrong, and you're relaxed, right? Because when you're relaxed, that's when you can receive, and that's when life can very easily move to you, and you're not pushing it away. You're not staying in that identity of I don't have, right? And as I said, this becomes the question. What would I like to create? What would you like to create? How would you like your day to go? What would you like to learn? What would you like to explore? How would you like to feel? Right? You're going to start to learn that your informational field is everything. And your feeling and your thoughts are constantly wiring that field, which is then, again, creating your whole experience. So if you're not prioritizing that and you're just staying in the patterned, conditioned way, and you wake up in the morning and your mind just goes right on the same ski tracks of the day before, of the week before, you know, that's gonna really suck, and you're gonna sink further down into the hole of chaos and resistance. And that's, you know, some of us need that, because that's going to be what gets us to make the new choice. And the more of us who are doing this, this is changing the shared collective field. So if you're someone who is actively participating in this, thank you, because you're going to make it easier for everyone. All right. So let's go to intuition, because that's really what's coming online and going to help us to play the fifth dimensional game. Not the head, where things are just crazy and we're trying to mentally sort everything out in a linear way, in a logical, rational way. No, there's balance now. Your heart's involved. The quantum engine is playing its role, where the heart and the mind come together, and there's that higher wisdom. There's that higher mind that you now have access to, because you're relaxed, because your brain waves are not in beta wave anymore, which is where most people operate. And the frequency of that, like a radio station, the higher mind can't get through. There's too much static, right? So you can't get that guidance and that inspiration and those next steps and those beautiful whispers from your soul, from your spirit guide team, whoever it might be, because you're on the wrong radio station. Okay, you gotta get on the right radio station. You're not gonna hear anything. It's that simple. So the intuition, it's like, can you be present enough where you're out of the mind and you're just kind of following these little steps? It's like, oh, go talk to that person, or go do this thing, or read this book, or send this message to this person. It's very cool when it starts to come online and you start to actively participate with it. Because when you start engaging with it and you start creating space by, let's say, meditation, going for walks in nature, something that's slowing your brain waves down, where you're intentionally saying, source within, I'm here to connect to the kingdom of heaven that you have blessed all of us with. Our imagination, which is a mirroring of all that is, infinite creation. I'm here to start using this correctly, and I'm here to listen, and I'm here to slow down my crazy human brain that I've been playing the 3D game with, and I'm here to receive. And that's when life is like, oh, finally, the prodigal son is coming home. He doesn't want to stay in the pig slop anymore and live that life. He's coming home. Let's throw a party, get the fattest goat, whatever it is. We're having a celebration. That's what that story of the prodigal son is really about. You're coming home to your true self, all right? And that's playing this game, all right? So you're not trapping yourself in time anymore. There's no longer like, how long is this going to take me? No, you realize that with the skill that you build of being able to embody that version of you right now that has the thing, has the life, has the bank account, whatever it is that you desire, because you uniquely, your desire is what you got to tap into here. This is following your path where you start to allow yourself to fully dream. You got your inner child on your shoulders and you're like, what do we want to do? What kind of fun do we want to have today? What do we want to explore? What value do we want to bring to the world around us, to our family, our friends, our community? Like, those are the questions of the upper floor. Whereas in the third dimensional game, the questions are like, how do I survive? How do I get by? How do I figure this out? How do I not feel this way anymore? Like, right? It's all maintenance. It's all trying to prevent bad things from happening, and you can't create from that place, okay? So if you're freaking out from anything going on, maybe your life is crashing down all around you, yay. The old bullshit you is falling apart. The old 3D game's unraveling. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a very challenging process, but that's why we're here, right? When you start to know yourself as the soul, you're like, oh yeah, that's why we play that game. If we didn't have this duality, if we didn't have the spectrum of fear and love, our state is love. Our natural state when we're not in a body is pure love and awareness. And so what kind of a game would it be to come into these physical bodies and just be in that fifth dimensional state all the time with zero separation? That's what we come from. So like, there would be no difference, and it wouldn't be a game, and it wouldn't be fun. We'd probably get pretty bored, actually. But having at least a little bit of contrast and being in these physical bodies makes this thing fun, where we're alchemizing and we're saying like, yeah, bring me my biggest challenge, the biggest shadow, and I'm going to unfold the higher potential. Because that's fun to an infinite being. And that is when you are on the 5D game board, my friends. Are you a goofy guy? Huh? I am. Let yourself be silly. Don't take things too seriously. But also conviction. Very, very powerful in this process. Knowing who you are. Right? Knowing who it is that you are, being unshakable in that. No matter what the outer world tries to tell you, no, not my story, not mine. I don't agree to, right? Because everything's agreement. Everything's trying to get you to come into agreement with it by virtue of your attention. What if you started to say, I'm not in agreement with that. I'm not in agreement with lack anymore. That's not my story. That's simply a program that I am choosing to step out of. I'm not in agreement with low self-worth and abandoning myself and compromising and settling. Not mine. Goodbye. I'm not in agreement with that anymore. What I am in agreement with is abundance. It's prosperity. It's learning all the beauty that's inside of me and seeing it out here and contributing and allowing my authentic expression to bring value to the world. I am in agreement with ease and joy and people around me that I love, and good conversations and laughter and wonderful opportunities flowing into my life. That's what I'm in agreement to, right? So we're in a period of writing so many new agreements, undoing the old ones, letting them go, and bringing the intention to the new agreements, the new intentions. simply, what would you like to create? So if you want some support with this, this is what my coaching is all about. This is what my programs are. This is what I do at our retreats. And I've been doing this for 7 years. And I could not be more excited. And I've gone through this process so deeply. And I was in struggle city for so long, guys, because I was so stuck in the 3D game. And then when I realized, dude, that was never your game, everything shifted. And I felt it. I was like, oh, that's why. Oh, there is nothing wrong with me. I was just playing the wrong game with the wrong rules, which I needed to do to then get me to see that so I could move on to the next game. And it's all part of it. So if you need support with that, I have a few spaces left for one-on-one. That it's very intimate, it's very powerful. I can't do it with a lot of people because of the energy that it requires. But we're also going to have group programs, and we have retreats going on this month in the summer in Montana, which in person, yeah, you can imagine. It's magic beyond words, beyond linearity, let's say. So if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate subscribing. I appreciate any engagement to get this message out there, because to me, it's the most important thing, right? It brings peace when you're playing the game the right way and you're not just looping in old stuff that's not working for you. So I love you guys. Thank you for being on this journey with me. We're just getting started. And as always, peace within is peace without.